Breaking news! Yes, my friends, Kenny Pickett is no longer a Cleveland Brown, and while it may not seem shocking at first glance, the real story is why this move changes everything for the future of the franchise. We're not just talking about another trade or another change in the depth chart. No, this was the move that finally created space for the Browns quarterbacks and quietly signaled a shift in long-term strategy. The moment this deal was finalized, a new door opened in Berea, one that could lead to the next phase of the franchise. Because now, for the first time in years, the Browns aren't stuck in quarterback purgatory, they're in control of their path forward. The details have been revealed, and they're raising eyebrows. Pickett is headed to Las Vegas to back up Geno Smith, filling the void created by Aiden O'Connell's wrist injury in the preseason. But here's the rub. Cleveland got back exactly what it gave up for Pickett, a 2026 fifth-round pick. On paper, it seems like a simple, clean transaction. But for Browns fans who've watched this quarterback carousel spin year after year, this moment feels different. It feels like clarity, like purpose, like this franchise finally knows who it wants to invest in, and, more importantly, who it doesn't. Because now that Pickett is out of the way, the Browns are left with three quarterbacks. One of them is Joe Flacco, a 40-year-old Super Bowl MVP with enough power to carry us through 2025. But the other two? They're unpredictable. They're the reason this move matters. Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, two rookies with completely different styles, different backgrounds, and different question marks, now have a real chance to prove themselves without a veteran bottleneck above them. And make no mistake, the Browns didn't draft these guys just to sit on the sidelines. One of them could very well be the future of this team. So, what does this mean for the Browns in Week 1? How does this change the quarterback draft order? And which rookie will stand out now that the situation is open? Stick around, because we're going to dive into all of this, and trust me, you'll want to know how this change could reshape the Browns season and, possibly, their future. But first, what's your reaction to the Kenny Pickett trade? Let us know in the comments below. If possible, leave a like if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan. Well, let's get to it. What's interesting here is that Cleveland didn't lose much in the process. We're getting a fifth-round pick in 2026, which matches what we originally gave up for Pickett. That alone makes this deal feel more like a strategic reset than a loss. Remember, when we brought him in, we also acquired Dorian Thompson-Robinson, who didn't even stick with the Eagles after they waived him. It's like the Browns ran an experiment with no cost and still walked away with value. Now we're down to 3 QBs. Joe Flacco, Dillon Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders. And finally, the room has clarity. Flacco is your starter, and the two rookies now have a genuine opportunity to learn under a seasoned veteran without having to sit behind another middle-of-the-road guy with no future on this team. There was never a strong case for Pickett being QB2. In fact, his numbers over the past 2 seasons have been forgettable at best. His 2023 QBR was a lowly 38.1. And his touchdown-to-interception ratio was nothing short of concerning. This wasn't the type of player you wanted taking up space in a room that should be grooming the future. The trade finally opens the door for what many fans have been asking for, a real shot for Sanders or Gabriel. This isn't just about depth. This is about direction. For years, the Browns have been searching, scrambling even, for a quarterback they can build around. Now, we've got a plan that actually makes sense. Joe Flacco is the bridge. He's the veteran, the mentor, and potentially the one to give us a fighting chance this season. But make no mistake, the eyes are on the young guys. And while some critics are calling for patience after Shedeur Sanders' underwhelming preseason finale, there's still excitement in the air. This is a kid who led the FBS in completion percentage, despite working with a shaky offensive line and no real ground game at Colorado. He slid to pick 144 in the draft. But let's not forget, analysts had him going top 2 before his stock dropped. The ceiling is still high, and now there's nothing in the way of his development. Then there's Dillon Gabriel. He may not have the same flash or hype as Sanders, but don't sleep on his potential. This is a quarterback who threw 30 touchdowns in 2024 with nearly a 73% completion rate. He was named Defensive Player of the Year in his conference, and he's already shown promise in preseason. Remember his performance against the Rams? 9 of 11, leading a touchdown drive. Gabriel looked composed and efficient. Yes, he's a bit undersized and threw a pick 6, but the poise was there. He's got maturity, experience, and now, an open lane to fight for QB2. Let's not forget the strategic benefits here either. Shipping out Pickett gives Cleveland breathing room on the roster. We're not clogging it with unnecessary quarterback depth. That flexibility could allow us to address other needs on the roster, shore up weaknesses, and stay ready for mid-season additions. Plus, Deshaun Watson is still lurking in the shadows, posting Instagram stories of his workouts and teasing a potential return. If he makes a comeback this year, this room suddenly gets even more interesting. And now that Pickett is out of the picture, the Browns can finally focus on what really matters, preparing for the future and winning football games this season with a room that actually makes sense. With Joe Flacco entrenched as the starter, the Browns get the rare opportunity to develop not one, but two promising rookies without the noise or confusion of a guy like Pickett stuck in the middle. The truth is, there was never a future with Pickett here. His ceiling had already been hit, and it was clear he wasn't going to be the answer. Meanwhile, both Gabriel and Sanders still have that crucial unknown factor. They haven't peaked yet. Their ceilings haven't even been scratched. And let's dig even deeper into the upside of both rookies. Shedeur Sanders' college tape is littered with moments of brilliance. Sure, his final preseason game was rocky, but so what? This is the NFL. Rookies make mistakes. He also showed elite-level accuracy and decision-making under duress when he was at Colorado, all while carrying an offense that couldn't protect him. He's got the frame, the arm, the poise. Analysts might have been quick to doubt after one rough game, but you can't ignore the tools. You can't ignore the production. And now, he's got a mentor in Joe Flacco who knows what it takes to win in this league. Let the kid breathe, let him develop, and let's see what he can become. As for Dillon Gabriel, what he lacks in size, he makes up for with sharp instincts, quick processing, and pinpoint accuracy on short to intermediate throws. The Browns didn't draft him in the third round to keep him hidden. They saw something. He looked NFL ready in parts of the preseason, showing composure even after setbacks like the pick six. You want a guy who can bounce back from mistakes, not crumble. Gabriel has that bounce. He's not flashy, but he might be exactly the kind of player who can step in and manage a game if needed, and sometimes that's all you ask of a backup quarterback in this league. Now that this roster spot is opened, there's real speculation about how the Browns will use it. Could we see another addition? Maybe an extra weapon on offense? Or a veteran presence somewhere else on the field? With flexibility comes opportunity, and that's something the Browns haven't always had the luxury of. They're not scrambling, they're strategizing. And let's not overlook the elephant in the room, Deshaun Watson. The fact that he's still grinding, still posting workout clips, still sending signals that he's aiming for a return this season adds another layer to the story. If he makes a comeback, the Browns will go from having a good quarterback situation to potentially a loaded one. Imagine this, Flacco holds the line, one of the rookies flashes enough to get fans buzzing, and Watson comes back down the stretch with fresh legs and something to prove. That's the kind of late-season firepower teams dream about. And it's not a fantasy, it's now a very real possibility. That fifth-round pick in 2026 may not excite everyone on the surface, but it could be gold. Just this year, the Browns found Shedeur Sanders in the fifth. There's value to be found, and Cleveland's front office has shown they know how to sniff it out. This trade wasn't about the pick, though. It was about removing the roadblock. Kenny Pickett was never going to be the guy, and the longer he stayed, the more he slowed down the process. So who's going to win that QB2 battle? It's a fair question. Some fans are riding hard for Sanders, others think Gabriel looks more ready right now. Sanders may have the higher upside, but Gabriel's experience, poise, and efficiency could earn him the trust of the coaching staff quicker. But the fact that we're even having this conversation is a win for the Browns. This is the kind of healthy competition you want, young, hungry, motivated guys fighting to earn their place, not just holding a clipboard. Let's also not ignore the message this trade sends to the locker room. It says we're not here to hold onto players just because. If you're not part of the long-term vision, you're gone. That's how good teams operate. That's how culture is built. There's no room for passengers, only contributors. So with Pickett gone, with the quarterback room cleaner, younger, and more strategic, the Browns look poised to move forward